For those in the chat that want to push the narrative that I was watching All Access, the answer is no. I was sitting right here watching you fine people in the chat. Chat away. AEW Dynamite, man. Very good show tonight. We got some potential great things on the horizon with the Blackpool Combat Club. Bryan Danielson has now officially turned the Blackpool Combat Club into a heel faction after weeks of showing heel tendencies. Adam Cole returns to AEW finally after 9 months of being away, injured. He was back in the main event tonight against Daniel Garcia. Adam Cole, clearly one of the best in the world, has not lost a step. Kenny Omega and Jeff Cobb for the IWGP United States Championship. I can't wait to see all the people complaining about another random match that doesn't make sense. And MJF, Jungle Boy. Oh my goodness, man. You wanted a promo? MJF and Jungle Boy gave you a fucking promo, man. Holy shit. Gotta love it. We're going to the venue, man. Jesse and I are live tonight. This WrestleMania week, it's busy. The venue is busy. I'll be meeting you guys over there just a little bit, man. Hopefully it's cold. Hopefully they are ice cold. I got one question for you. What the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for March 29th, 2023. I'm your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on your Wednesday evenings, wherever you may be. Jesse, you smell that? You smell that in the air, man, this week, man. It's WrestleMania week. We're unveiling my mother's basement this week, man. It's a lot going on, man. It's fucking exciting. I gotta tell you.
Feels like Super Bowl weekend all over again, right?
I know. Listen, I don't watch football, but I get the analogy there. But I'm excited about this week, man. I thought tonight was another very solid effort for Tony Khan and AEW tonight. I understand that a lot of people are kind of waiting for something big to break in AEW, but man, oh man, I feel like we're on the verge of one of their best storylines ever, man, with the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite, because there's a lot of moving parts in this feud, and I guess we'll start with that tonight. Bryan Danielson, bro, as if he wasn't a heel already. You know, you and I have talked about this many times before, man. Bryan is a great babyface. We know Bryan is a great babyface, but when Bryan is a heel, man, that's next level shit right there. Bryan is such a good fucking heel. And tonight he solidified the Blackpool Combat Club's heel turn, and we got Bryan Danielson, Wheeler Yuta, Jon Moxley, and Claudio as a heel faction in AEW, man. I'm going to pose the question to everybody. This may be the greatest faction in AEW history, and who the fuck is going to stop them, man? What a faction of four that is. And this Elite storyline, man, has a lot of possibilities, with that big catalyst being Don Callis.
Yeah, there's no stopping this faction. They'll just eventually implode on themselves, you know, at some point, and we'll get Moxley versus Bryan probably down the road. But as it stands right now, man, it gets no better than this group, man. Who's gonna beat these guys?
Nobody.
It feels like a legit group of three bona fide badasses with a badass in training along with them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no stopping them.
And they were great. They were great under the leadership of William Regal. And I feel like, you know, this has the potential to be the best presentation and the best Blackpool Combat Club that we've seen without William Regal. So what I feel tonight, man, I don't know if you felt it with you know, especially with last week coming out of the Vikingo match with Omega and the storyline getting started there with Omega looking at Paige and, you know, did he shove down or punch Don Callis? That was the whole thing last week. You know, man, I feel like, and I've said this often, especially on this show, I feel like the vibe in professional wrestling is kind of changing. We went from people wanting banger matches to wanting legitimate storytelling. And we've gotten our fill of storytelling with the Bloodline and the KO and Sami Zayn saga going into WrestleMania with the Usos. I mean, for the most part, we've been spoiled, honestly, with the level of storytelling that we've gotten on SmackDown with all those men on Friday night. We've been waiting for something like that in AEW, man. I think the last time we've really gotten something that comes across that way was when Mr. He Who Shall Not Be Named was on the show, Mr. Brooks and MJF. That was a tremendous fucking feud. I mean, before that it was Omega and Hangman. That was a tremendous feud. That was almost 3 years in the fucking making there. You know, we haven't had anything like that on AEW television. And I know Tony Khan loves to gloat that he's in charge and he's this and he's that and he's wearing fucking 6 or 7 different hats. But sometimes, man, you got to take a step back. And the reason why the Omega and Paige storyline was so successful was because it was the vision of the Elite. It was basically them. It was their storyline. It was where they wanted it to go. I don't know if this is the case now, but if Tony is giving the lead here to the Elite and the guys in the Blackpool Combat Club, it may make for one of the best stories that they've ever told. And I feel like when you get the Elite involved, bro, to tell their story, they're fucking great. And nothing is better on AEW television. I feel like that's what we're getting now.
Yeah, man. It's really good stuff. You know, it was a lot of people complaining last week about Omega's match with Vikingo, about how there was no story there.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was. So now here we are a week later with Jeff Cobb, and to me, it felt like now last week's non-story that there was a story for, last week's story continues on to this one. Now here's another big name out of the company matchup that Kenny needs to, be on point for. And he has other distractions going on because now something happened to Don. Last week, something happened to the Bucks. So people are looking past the story to look at the match to then say there's no story when there's actually story right in front of them. And that story has now continued into this week. So despite the distractions that Kenny had to deal with, he still managed to come out on top against two huge names outside the promotion.
Yes.
Big fucking story here, man. So as we get Kenny away from the trios division and back into the singles main title picture, possibly, we are now redeveloping how much of a big star Kenny Omega is. I think that's very important come out of that trios run.
Yeah, and I definitely want to reiterate, because we did talk about this last week, to dumb down the fucking geeks online who love to hate AEW. And like Jesse mentioned again tonight, there was story coming out of the Vikingo and Omega match. And you saw that last week with Adam Page and Don Callis. And for anybody that wants to complain, Jesse, about them not doing a story, we got a story with the Blackpool Combat Club after the Jeff Cobb match. And believe it or not, for the people that don't watch the fucking show and don't pay attention to what Kenny Omega's doing and the championship that Kenny Omega is holding around his shoulder, Kenny Omega is the IWGP United States Champion, Jesse. And he beat Will Ospreay for the IWGP United States title at Wrestle Kingdom in a fucking unbelievable match. Jeff Cobb is in Will Ospreay's stable, known as the United Empire. And they just announced Forbidden Door. And more than likely, I think I would put money on it, onto who Kenny Omega is going to be wrestling on that show. It's going to be Will Ospreay for the IWGP United States Championship. So there is a story. Tony Khan didn't give you a random match with some nobody from New Japan. It's all leading to Forbidden Door. So you can't complain. They gave you a story in the match, and they gave you a story outside the match. You got the best of both worlds. What are you going to cry about now?
Oh, they'll find something.
Don't they always?
They'll find something, bruh. Welcome to wrestling Twitter, man.
It's ridiculous. Don Callis is the catalyst here, man. He actually went to go apologize to Adam Page tonight. Blackpool Combat Club beat the shit out of him. Still, a lot of people are making it out to be like Don Callis is going to turn on the Elite and join the Blackpool Combat Club, bro. Could you see Don Callis replacing William Regal as the head of the Blackpool Combat Club?
Absolutely.
Do they need him?
Absolutely. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. I'm not saying I do or don't. I'm not sure where the story is going, but it does seem like it has a destination, and I haven't quite figured out, their puzzle yet. But I could see that being an outcome. Absolutely, man. I mean, they're making the Blackpool Combat Club look not just strong, but absolutely dominant.
Yeah.
Absolutely dominant. They got Don Callis, mingling with the Elite and Kenny, and he's out there courting Konosuke. Something's going on, man. Something big. And I can't wait to see what it is.
Yeah, he's definitely doing something, but obviously that's the whole point of the storyline. I can't wait to see it play out. And obviously AEW needs something like this to spark interest. And I honestly think they're off right now on a tremendous foot. Speaking of the Elite, I don't know if this is per storyline to add effect for them being out or if this is legitimate. But Matt Jackson, apparently, according to Dave Meltzer and Bryan Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer, Matt Jackson is actually on the sidelines with a legitimate injury after AEW did an angle last week that we just talked about that saw the Bucks get stretchered into an ambulance right before Adam Page joined them in the ambulance. He jumped in there, rode away, and that was obviously teased as the Blackpool Combat Club handling the attack. Hangman later then made the save for Omega following his match against Vikingo as the Blackpool Combat Club had attacked him. Alvarez said that Matt Jackson is injured. I just heard that it was a partially torn bicep, and it happened in the Awesome Winnipeg match in Canada. It happened early in the match, that trio's triple threat match, by the way, if you guys didn't know. It happened early in the match, but he worked the entire match with it. They don't know if he'll need surgery, is what I heard. And Dave Meltzer said, okay, what I heard was he opted not to get surgery and is hopeful he'll be back quicker. Surgery, you're looking at 7 months out. As far as a timetable, it's probably not too long. I don't know. Double or Nothing is in 2 months. 2 months feels short, which is too bad if they are not on that pay-per-view. So that may actually cause a little bit of a blow here to the storyline. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, Jesse, but a torn bicep is nothing to scoff at all because, he's obviously a part of the Young Bucks. They need him in this storyline, and I don't know if Nick Jackson can go at it alone and what their plan B is if he is out.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope he's not hurt. That does kind of put a wrench in things, but at the same time, like I said, I heard he's opting to not do surgery. So hopefully that would mean that maybe they can continue the storyline with him on camera. Yep. Maybe without wrestling until he's better. But if he's opting to not do surgery, then that means he's hoping the recovery won't take very long.
Yeah, we'll see. That's a little bit of a shitty situation there for AEW. Always. Every time AEW is onto something really, really good, there's always a fucking injury. Always something. So that is going on. That's the biggest thing that happened tonight. Bryan Danielson turning heel on Kenny Omega and joining the Blackpool Combat Club. And Jon Moxley, bro. Jon Moxley's there. He had a fun night. He punched Don Callis in the face. Don Callis legitimately got busted open. We'll talk about that a little bit later as reports were coming in that he was busted open after that little backstage attack. Jon Moxley, might as well talk about this before we get into the show because there really isn't any AEW news that strikes me as important. But Jon Moxley was on Renee's podcast, The Sessions. Now, I did a video on it yesterday, and I gave my opinion on it. I honestly think that there are several people to blame in this. Tony Khan and his poor leadership ability could have really thwarted all of this and stopped all of this right at the start, but he'd rather be buddy-buddy with the entire roster than put his foot down. The locker room is not afraid of him. The locker room is not afraid of any repercussions. People just run the shit like the Wild Wild West from what we read and what we hear. And then CM Punk, obviously, Jesse, you know what CM Punk did on Instagram. For the most part, CM Punk has been quiet. He hasn't really said much of anything. He's joked around, doing MMA commentary, and, he's joked around, not allowing him in a locker room, because he's CM Punk. But for the most part, in this entire rehabilitation process, man, he's been pretty quiet. He hasn't said much of anything. I don't know if there's legality behind that. I don't know if anything else is behind that, but he's been relatively quiet. So he posted this Instagram story, and, I don't know what to believe when it comes from the Punk camp, because you and I have documented this, bro. I mean, the whole Larry the Dog getting his tooth knocked out and the fucking fabricated story that happened over. I mean, you don't really know what CM Punk is saying, if it's true or false. So, I mean, there's a little bit of hesitation there, but, he went on to say what he said, and then Jon Moxley was on the podcast with his wife and basically said nothing. He didn't entertain it. He didn't even mention CM Punk's name, in-ring name, or his real name. He called the drama in AEW bullshit, and he said he's never seen this amount of drama and this much bullshit before in any place he's ever worked. He didn't use that in a demeaning way. He loves AEW. If there's one thing that I took away from the podcast, that he loves AEW. And he wants to go out there and make memories. And he wants to go out there and wrestle and fucking do his job. He even said, what is there to be upset about? I love my life right now. He's happy to be there. He's happy to be in the position that he's in. And he said, we're not talking about Vikingo and Omega. We're not talking about the great pay-per-view that we have. We're talking about this fucking childish drama on social media because people want to drum up shit on social media and then pawn it off as news. The only thing that he said, bro, is that he was working without a contract. And I know you were very upset about that little tidbit of information. And a lot of people were, in fact, because how could you let somebody like Jon Moxley work without a contract and hold your AEW championship? And then when he said that, I kind of seen both sides of the story. But at the end of it all, bro, he didn't really do anything or say anything to really diffuse it or debunk it or deny anything that Punk said. He just added his own little, narrative on there with I wasn't working without a contract. I could have taken the AEW title to fucking WWE SummerSlam weekend last year. What was your thought on the entire Jon Moxley situation, man? Because obviously people want Punk back. There are people that don't want him back. Did this do anything to help his cause at all? The floor is yours, man. I gave my piece. I gave my piece in a 35-minute video yesterday, so people know where I am.
I got no comment. So before I even said anything, some asshole, one of your fucking assholes, Cody Snyder, I was getting ready to ban him for life, and then he's a member, says, here comes Jesse's Punk hate speech. So okay. I got nothing to say, man. I mean, everybody loves Punk, right? Me too.
You got nothing to add because Cody Snyder wants to put a sleepy emoji.
No, I think he represents half your fucking fans, man. I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, everybody loves Punk, right?
I don't give a fuck about the chat. Fuck him. Tell me what you think and what you told me about Moxley and how you felt about Moxley working without a contract. And
I think that was ridiculous.
And tell me what you told me before we went on the air tonight.
I think that was ridiculous. I think, dude, I don't care what needs to be done. If you're Tony Khan and you're putting Jon Moxley front and center from in your company and giving him a title, he needs to be on the contract. Now, I understand what he said. You know, he didn't want to be held down for long term because he just got out of rehab and everything like that. I would put him on a 1-month deal. I'll give him I don't care what he wants. At this point in time, I cannot afford to lose Jon Moxley or Chris Jericho or Kenny Omega because of what is already going on in the company. So when those three guys want anything from me, I'm giving it to them. Anything. And we know Jon Moxley is not a materialistic guy. He is not. He will ask for what he believes he's worth, and I'm sure he deserves it. Give it to him. Don't put him out there. Now, I also understand that he's a loyal guy, but look, if you're a businessman, you can't just rely on someone being honorable, someone like Jon Moxley. Everyone's not going to be as honorable as a Jon Moxley. Okay? Unfortunately not. So get this guy pen to paper somehow, some way. He doesn't want to be locked down for 3-5 years. I'll lock him down for 6 months. I'll put him in a 6-month deal for whatever he wants. Just something on paper, but this guy's going to be out there representing your company. And if you want to trust him like that, that's kind of a bad move. For Jon Moxley, maybe not, but don't get into a habit of that. He did it with Cody. He trusts Cody with that. And then like a week later, Cody was in WWE television just about. You know what I'm saying? So get this guy on paper, man. Don't let people run around with your world title without a damn deal, no matter who they are, period. Especially someone as important as Jon fucking Moxley, man.
Do you see Jon Moxley's stance in basically doing the whole Rocky 3 theme there? Do you see where he was coming from as to why he said, I'm bending over backwards for Punk because I'm working without a contract? I said yesterday on my podcast, on the extra that I did yesterday, well, that was his choice to not sign a contract. And did he really use the proper terminology there? Was he really bending over backwards? He wanted to be there in that moment, and he was there in that locker room. If he didn't want to be there, bro, and he was working without a contract, he wouldn't be there. So was he really bending over backwards for Tony Khan and bending over backwards for CM Punk? I get why he wanted to do the, tit for tat deal. I'll give you a win at the pay-per-view, but I'm going to have to get my win on Dynamite before the pay-per-view. I could see his point there, but did he really bend over backwards when he was working without a contract and physically was in that room because he wanted to be there?
It felt like what he was trying to say was he was already doing Tony Khan and AEW a favor. He was already doing them a favor. And to get back at that, remember when everyone was talking about Mox ready to go on his vacation to chill and relax, and then all this Punk shit blew up?
Yep.
And there goes that vacay. He's right back at it again. I think that kind of lends to it. He was promised time off. He was told he would have time off, and then all this shit blew up. And right away, he's like always, he's Johnny on the spot. Forget that time off, forget this. As a matter of fact, not only do you not get time off, I need you front and center with the title and lead the company. And he's already doing Tony Khan a favor. I think that's kind of what he meant in that regard. Not like, like he wanted to be here. I don't think he wanted to be there. I think he wanted a break. No?
He did want a break. I don't know if he mentioned that on the podcast yesterday, but yes, no, He definitely, it was being reported that when he dropped that title, he was going on vacation, and we probably wouldn't have seen him for about 6 to 7 weeks, 8 weeks.
Yeah. Not only that, not only did he not go on vacation, he brought his wife with him.
Yeah.
And he got his wife on board to work with him to make the show even that much better, man. I think the backstage segments with Renee have been very enjoyable and it's only made the company better.
Who wasn't on the show tonight, by the way? I don't know why.
Yeah, what the hell, man. But yeah, I think he was told or promised or asked to do something, or in regards of him getting time off, and then he was asked again to lead the company, and he said absolutely, sure. And then maybe it came to a point, maybe he said he didn't want to lose to Punk in this juncture because he didn't have to. He was already doing TK a favor by even being here in this situation.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the case, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so not sure, man, but Moxley, from what we've seen from this guy, from his last year in WWE on to the start of him in AEW, on to now this controversy, now it feels like we can all comfortably say that Jon Moxley is not a drama king. He's not a needy person. He's not an egomaniac. He just wants to fucking work. He wants to wrestle. He wants to have fun and be creative, and he's been getting to do just that this entire run. And not once have we seen Moxley, even he said himself, be filled with this much hate of drama since he got over here and started working with Punk. And this is the guy that came from WWE dealing with Vince fucking McMahon.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad, man. The guy's been easy going. The guy just tapped out 2 weeks ago. His character is not one that needs to be tapping out. It is not. But from what he said, it was his idea. He didn't mind. You know what I'm saying? Does this seem like a guy that is not easy to work with?
I mean, don't you kind of look at Punk in this situation with Meltzer kind of putting his opinion behind a paywall about what he said on CM Punk, and then, hiding it on the Observer, and then Punk coming out calling him a liar and calling Jericho a liar in his stooge. Don't you feel like Punk had the right to kind of defend himself on Instagram with what he said? Now, granted, it's not a good look because, you were quiet all this time and then you want to come out and fucking burn the internet down for the 24-hour period. But, I mean, he's got every right to defend himself. I mean, if people are talking shit about him, what do you want him to do? I mean, he's just like me and everybody else, bro. They wear their hearts on their sleeves, and it just comes out. And then later we process it, and then we kind of like, maybe I shouldn't have did that,
I'm gonna read Punk's pinned tweet on his Twitter profile. It's been there for over 3 years at this point, or going on 3 years. It says,
and he knows it's there. I know what it says, and he knows it's still there too.
Yeah, it's been there for almost 3 years. He says, some of you need to stop listening to criticism from people you wouldn't ask advice from. But then he goes on and posts that rant about what Meltzer said.
Yeah.
Meltzer does not work for AEW. Meltzer is a reporter / journalist / whatever you want to call him, but he's an outsider. All right. How many times has Meltzer said something about Moxley that probably wasn't true? Did you see Moxley go out on social media? Let me correct this. Dude, you are the professional and professional wrestler. You don't have to go out and defend yourself. Defend yourself from what? Because Meltzer says something, what happens to you? Do you get fired? What happens to you because Meltzer talked?
I don't know.
Who gives a shit? If you're CM Punk, who gives a rat's ass what Dave Meltzer has to say about you? Why do you care so much about something from someone who you wouldn't take advice from?
I don't know. And this is why I said I feel like the community made things a lot worse in this particular situation. The community made things a lot worse. Meltzer is a trusted figure in the community, and he was, and I've been, I've been guilty of that here and there. A trusted, member of the community, and he put shit out behind a paywall that clearly Punk did not find to be truthful. So I feel like the community is partially to blame for this particular situation, but I'm not excusing Punk's behavior, not excusing, possibly Jericho's behavior and Tony Khan's behavior and all this, which I find to be the most damning of everything because he really hasn't done much of anything. He could have deaded this back in August, when all of this was going down, and he didn't. And he just let shit fly. And there's no fear of repercussions in that company from what it seems like. But
let me run this by you. Is it easier to dictate what CM Punk does and says, or to dictate what every last single new wrestling news media outlet says?
Well, it's easier to dictate what CM Punk says.
So maybe TK and CM Punk just needs to let Meltzer and Sap and JD and everyone else just say what they need to say, and you go do your job accordingly, no matter what the media says, regardless of what the media says.
Well, sometimes things get taken out of context, and then, the wrestlers think that the journalists or the content creators are slandering them in some disrespectful way.
You're the professional, man.
I know.
You're the professional and professional wrestler.
Yes.
I'm not saying it must feel good to have people talk shit about it. Don't get me wrong, man. I get it. But Meltzer only has pull and weight because you give it to him. What Meltzer tweets and says only matters because you managed to come out of your hole, write a 45-page Instagram post and delete it, and now making Meltzer's words even bigger than what they were. Just ignore it. And then it seems like he just sitting there pissing in the wind talking to himself. Who gives a shit what Meltzer says if you're TK, if you're Moxley, or if you're CM Punk? You talk to the people you need to talk to. And if Dave Meltzer is not one of those people, then let Meltzer say what he wants to say. Meltzer is not the one being looked at as the guy who's fucking up his last run right now. That's Punk.
Has he fucked up the run? Is this it?
We don't know, man. I mean, that's yet to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the only thing that really concerns me is what the discussions are between Tony Khan and CM Punk, because Tony Khan's going to be the only one. Tony Khan is the only one that's going to make a decision. It's not going to be fucking Moxley. It's not going to be Jericho. It's not going to be Bryan. It's Tony Khan. It's not going to be the elites. They're not going to have any say in anything. It's Tony Khan who's going to bring back Punk, yes or no, and that's it. That's all I care about. That's all I care about.
So if TK and Punk sat down and spoke,
which we know they have because it hasn't been reported. They absolutely have.
And they have. And then they separate from that talk. Okay, good. We're on the same page. Shake hands. Boom. Take off. And then Meltzer says something, and then Punk goes in this tirade. I'm Tony Khan. I'm calling Punk back. What the fuck did you do that for? Because Meltzer did this. I don't give a fuck what Meltzer did. What did we just talk about? I don't care what Meltzer said.
It's the problem.
Who gives a shit? What Meltzer said. You're CM fucking Punk and he's not. They report on everything you do, even your tweet and deletes. So just let them follow you and wonder until no one knows that you're stupid until you open your mouth.
True.
Just said nothing and went on about the fixing of the situation that he's been going through over the last almost a year now. Talk to Kenny, talk to TK, fix this, plant the seeds, try to get your return done. But then Meltzer says something, now all that shit's derailed. You let Meltzer dictate your fucking career for you? Is that what we're saying here?
You're right. You're right. Punk should have absolutely looked at the situation and listened to Dave and what he had to say, or read what Dave had to put behind the Observer paywall. And what he should have did is, and I said this on my show on Sunday, everybody needs to be a fucking decent, good human being here. I'm not saying that they all have to get along, but Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, if you really want to get back at everybody, apologize, make good, do business. You'll make Meltzer look like a fucking idiot for all the shit that he's talked. That's it. If they all came together and they did business, and this was like the biggest fucking storyline in the history of the company, they'd make Meltzer and his reporting look like shit. Nobody would fucking listen to Meltzer anymore. Nobody. That would be my motivation.
No, just ignore him. Just fucking ignore him. And let every other little troll that runs around and listens to everything he says, just make sure that what he reports turns out to be straight bullshit. You don't have to address it. What Meltzer said is not debunked or wrong just because Punk said so. Punk's word is just because Punk said so means nothing. That just means he disagrees with Dave. How about you let your actions prove that Dave was wrong?
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
And then he'll sit there and look like the fucking idiot. You don't have to address him. You don't have to be in the media scrum bringing him up like everything. So what is this goal? Is this goal to scare journalists into saying and only doing things that he likes? Otherwise, he's going to put them on blast.
Who, Punk?
Punk.
I don't know.
You can't control what the media says. You just can't. You might not like it, but you can't control it.
That's a whole nother fucking can of worms, bro. We know how fucking soft the pro wrestler is. You know,
I mean,
their egos are just...
Dude, stop giving these guys power. They have nothing if you ignore them. They have nothing. If I went on Twitter right now and wrote a big page article about how Punk walked out and quit and has no deal right now, what would it mean to the wrestling community?
It would mean jack shit. Jack shit.
Exactly. And that's what it would mean if Meltzer did it, if people just fucking ignored him. You know, what's that guy, Ringside News? The guy gets drunk and starts fucking rambling.
Yeah.
Homophobic and just fucking racist bullshit.
Yep.
And people stop paying him attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just stop paying Meltzer attention if he's so fucking wrong. You give him all of this fucking power. You give it to him by sitting there and acknowledging everything he does. Just ignore it. If the fans want to listen to it, that's on them, bro.
Sounds familiar.
That's on them, bro. If TK didn't tweet it,
I got people fucking clipping me out of context on the daily, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah.
If you don't like what I have to say, don't fucking watch. Really.
Fucking
I don't understand you people. You know, but you clip my shit, you get my shit out there. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You don't have to like anything Meltzer says. So if you don't, just ignore him. And his words will mean nothing, man. They really won't.
Listen, it's a solid point, man. I've listened to a lot of people's opinions on it. I don't think I've heard anybody really attack it from that angle. So this is why I wanted to talk about it, because it's a big deal. You know, we're not going to talk about it no more, but I will say, Jim Ross did say that Punk is good for AEW business, and he's confident that he'll be able to work with AEW again. And he says, I'm one of those guys who believes he will be back. I think AEW needs Punk because of his star power, and he brings with him the controversy creates cash narrative, and he's certainly controversial. I'm a big fan of Phil's. You know, that's a pretty powerful fucking voice there, man. And Jim Ross saying that. So, you know, shit like that, I mean, that's got to make Punk feel good. That's got to make... And how respected is Jim Ross in that fucking locker room, bro? Very. I mean, he's probably at near the top of the list, you know?
Very, you know. So I just you know, at the same time, you know, JR is so he is up there in age. And I don't know if he's coming from the old school mentality of just suck it up and deal with it type deal. But sometimes mental health is real, man. And if you don't want to work with someone in your locker room who is mentally taxing on you as CM Punk can be and all this fucking antics, maybe that could be a deal breaker for some people.
Yeah.
For some people. And that might be something that Jim Ross might not be thinking about. You know, because when my contract is up and I've now have the legitimate option of going to a bigger platform in WWE, I'm not going over there and saying, well, hey, I know the grass is greener. No, I'm going to go over there saying, well, I understand it could be drama there too, but at the same time, I know I don't like this drama here.
Yeah.
And this guy is running roughshod with his political BS and everybody. Dude, Tony is over there walking on eggshells to keep CM Punk happy in that fucking locker room. And no one likes that, man.
Yeah.
No one fucking likes to deal with that shit. Punk is the locker room is happy when Punk is happy. Should that be right?
The locker room is happy when Punk is happy? No, that's the opposite way of
so if Punk is not happy, then all this shit starts, right? Yeah. So keep Punk happy. That's the goal. I don't want to bring somebody back, but I got to keep him happy. If not, my locker room's in disarray.
Well, this is the reason why we wanted to attack this. I've given my say on this from Sunday's show into Tuesday's extra that I did on the whole community blowing Moxley's quote and taking it out of context. I mean, the fucking community is sickening. You know, they ran with that one fucking 30-second clip that they had, and I'm like, holy shit, you guys are fucking ridiculous, man. But I guess you know, the clickbait works, but whatever it is. So I'm glad we attacked that, and we're actually going to get on to the show now because there was a lot that happened on the show that I want to talk about. Jungle Boy had a little decent match here with Matt Hardy tonight, bro. I was actually surprised at how good the match was for how long it went, and the crowd in St. Louis was very hot for both Jungle Boy and Matt Hardy. And we got an appearance by Hook here. Hook came out, and he started a brawl outside with Matt Hardy and Ethan Page. Hardy tried to hold Hook, ducked, and Page clocked Hardy accidentally. Jack Perry then took out Hardy with a dive. Back inside, they tried a side effect. For a third time, Matt was going for the side effect, but Jungle Boy countered with a flatliner, charging forearm to the back of the head, and that was enough to get the victory over Matt Hardy. I thought both guys looked good. Jungle Boy has been uber impressive since the Christian Cage, even before that. Since the Christian Cage match, he's just been on point with everything. His in-ring work has been stellar. His promo work has gotten so much better. And right at the end of the match, Jesse, is when things really, really broke down. And it was really the whole moment of the opening segment. MJF's music hits, and he walks out. And he's out there. Crowd is telling him, shut the fuck up, before he even says anything. He said, how about no? So he turned to Jungle Boy and said, I didn't really appreciate you interrupting my bar mitzvah 2 weeks ago. He said one thing really stood out to him. He took issue with Jungle Boy saying that he had it easy, just so that you guys know. Jungle Boy said that MJF kind of waltzed his way up to the top of the card. He turned back to Jack Perry after acknowledging the fans and said, you know what? He's right. Jungle Boy's right. Said he barely wrestles and barely breaks a sweat and then obliterates the losers in the crowd and then takes a Learjet back home to the most magical place in the world known as Long Island. They will be in Long Island next week for AEW Dynamite. So it's going to be MJF Day next Wednesday. He said they'll be going there next week. He plugged tickets. He said Jungle Boy's career, meanwhile, has been kind of mid. He said he scratched and clawed his way up the ladder with one standout match after another, leaving blood, sweat, and tears in the ring for the fans. He says he's never heard these fans thank him. So the fans obviously thanked Jungle Boy, saying, thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack. MJF told the fans it was too little, too late, losers. He says he hasn't been rewarded with much TV time. He says he has a right to be pissed, but not at him or the fans. He says he should be pissed at himself because after the match at Double or Nothing in 2020, they stole the show. They went to war in 90-degree weather in Jacksonville, Florida to prove that they were the future. MJF says he walked to the back and he felt like he just met his equal in the ring for the first time ever. MJF said for the first time he met a man in the ring whom he respected. He says he sought him out backstage and shook his hand. He asked Perry if he remembers what he said. So Jungle Boy is standing in the corner. He asks for a microphone. MJF told him he had all the skills and all the potential in the world, but nice guys always finish last. He said MJF told him to ditch his friends and not care about anybody but himself, says Jungle Boy. MJF says, I did tell you that. MJF then went on to say, he went out to go hang out with Dino Douche, Marco Stunted Growth, and Christian Cage. Good fall, by the way. Great call there with Christian Cage. He said all those guys had held him back. He said his new friend Hook won't be any different. He says he could have listened to him and followed him to the top of the mountain. And he said it could have been the MJF show and the Jack Perry show, but instead he had to be the good guy for the fans. These people, really? MJF then said the fans might chant his name, but where he has been a good guy, where's it gotten you? He says he's now the best pro wrestler in the world, holding the grandest prize of them all, and Jack Perry is still just Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy then said if it were up to him, I'm going to be honest with you, a long time ago he thought that maybe somehow, some way they could be friends. He said in a lot of ways he wishes he was more like MJF. MJF was pleased to hear this. I wish I could talk like you do, Max. I wish I had the confidence that you have. I wish that I didn't care about anybody but myself. I wish I didn't care about anybody but myself, and I wish I didn't care about lying and backstabbing people to get what I want. I wish I didn't care about being the most selfish, narcissistic piece of shit in this entire company. Fans then chanted, piece of shit, piece of shit. Perry said that's not him. So if that takes, him to the top of the mountain, so be it. He said he'll do it his way, and when he beats him and becomes AEW World Champion, at least he won't wake up alone every day and hate the person he sees in the mirror. So now we start getting into the live rounds because Jungle Boy wanted to throw that. He wakes up alone. Obviously, that was a dig at MJF's fiancée, breaking off their engagement. So MJF paced the round, and he said, yeah, that was really good. That was really good, man. He said the fans should give him a round of applause for that. When it only took you 4 years to learn how to cut a promo, he says they could have been friends and partners, but in fact, he has turned out to be a massive disappointment. You're weak, Jack. Weak of the body, mind, soul, and heart. I stopped your hot-ass girlfriend, Anna J, in the back, and, I talked to her, and she told me that you're weak between the knees as well. So, obviously, this is where the brawl got started, and that's basically what ended this. And he
called her a hot piece of ass.
Yeah, a hot piece of ass, yeah. MJF obviously was, no, he's not wrong.
Is he wrong?
MJF and Jungle Boy were separated, and MJF was yelling, I'm still the world champion. I'm still the world champion. We talk highly about Jungle Boy here, bro. He did great in that little round table discussion with the four pillars in the ring at the same time. And he's cut great promos against Christian Cage, man. This may have been the most focused I think I've seen Jungle Boy, most direct I've seen Jungle Boy. MJF obviously brought that out of him. I feel like MJF is, a guy that works wonders, man. He always pulls something out of somebody when he cuts a promo like that on whoever he's in the ring with. I like the fact that they got a little personal there, jab for jab. It always helps the situation. This was a tremendous segment, man. This really brought me back to this is what AEW is about, just like that four-pillar segment with the bar mitzvah. This is what AEW is all about, man. This is their homegrown right here, and the fact that they had a tremendous promo back and forth here, this is the future. I love it.
Yeah, and I don't think Maxwell's homecoming next week is gonna go as well as he hopes it is.
No.
I feel like all three of the other pillars are gonna come at his ass, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. I feel like this is going to be a thing now. MJF, came out unsuspected to cut a promo on Jungle Boy.
Look at that pop he gets, man.
I know. When that opening fucking rung of the theme music goes off, it's like people just erupt in whichever way.
It erupts into cheers of like everyone's so happy that he's here.
Yeah.
And then quickly turns into boos. That's when they can boo this guy.
Yeah.
It's the perfect heel reaction.
MJF is actually, he obviously, when he says he's the best pro wrestler in the world. I don't know if I would call him the best pro wrestler in the world. He's definitely top 5 right now, easy. But
if we're gonna include overall package,
listen, if it's one of those situations where if you told me that he's number, I'm not going to argue with you because he's got everything you want. But as far as where he is right now, bro, and you and I know how great he is, and everybody knows how great he is, and everybody speaks so highly of him. This is where he's really going to show his value, bro, because if they are going to do what I think that they're going to do, he brought out Jack Perry tonight in this promo.
Yeah.
He's going to do the same thing, or at least should do the same thing with Sammy, and he should do the same thing with Darby. I want to see if they follow through the same way that they did with Jungle Boy with those two other guys. And I want to see what MJF pulls out of them and kind of riles them up and how he riles them up. Because if that's the case, bro, we're going to see the best we've seen of Sammy, and we're going to see the best of Darby that we've seen of Darby. And it's going to really show how much more valuable MJF really is on top of how valuable he is right now.
Yeah, it's actually it's pretty simple. It's quite simple what MJF is doing out there. Because when he goes out there and he starts spitting that heat at you on the microphone, he gives any character on the roster, any babyface character, he gives anyone a reason to jump out of their baby face, happy gimmick to jump into just straight fire mode.
Yeah.
So if let's say, for instance, Willow Nightingale, she smiles and is the happiest wrestler on the roster. That's what I can think of right now. If MJF went out there and started cutting a promo on her for like 5 minutes, he could turn that happy-go-lucky, smiling gimmick into a raging, fighting beast, a side of her we would have never seen before, because he is so good at bringing just straight negativity to someone else he's facing on the microphone. So he gives them that door, because otherwise you can look at someone and say, okay, he's upset, but why are you raging so like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to be this angry. MJF gives everyone a reason to be that angry.
Yeah. And I want to say, just in closing here for this segment, it really made me feel that I wanted to see a singles match between these two. We may eventually get that somewhere down the line. Now, I don't know if it's going to be something that we're going to see going into Double or Nothing, but this was good enough to build a Jack Perry MJF one-on-one fucking title match. If he does this with the rest of them, I mean, how big is this match going to feel if what we got tonight with these two is going to happen with the other two? And you put all four of these guys together, I mean, what a fucking main event. I mean, it's a brilliant main event. It's something that is ready to happen, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be, I think, like I said, when we saw that this was probably the match we were getting, I was all like, why not do them one at a time? And I think we said because it's probably not believable. It's not very believable that we're going to think that Jungle Boy in a one-on-one feud is possibly going to beat MJF. But in a fatal four-way, but, all three of them against him, it's a little bit more believable.
Yeah.
But now as we do that, like you said, now I want to see these guys one-on-one. So maybe we find out who gets protected in that fatal four-way, who eats that pin.
That's going to be a good question.
Yep.
Very good question. Alex Marvez was backstage with Don Callis, and he was chatting with Kenny Omega, who was getting warmed up for his match against Jeff Cobb. Callis said a lot of people are talking about what happened between him and Hangman Page last week. He asked Omega why he assumed his so-called friend Hangman Page attacked him last week when all that actually happened was that he slipped. He asked what that says about his friendship with him. Omega says, he pushed you before, Don. Callis said he just had the greatest match in Dynamite history last week with Vikingo and is about to do it again. So he's going to apologize to Hangman so Omega can focus on Jeff Cobb. He said he'll make everything right. Omega shook his head, and he thought Callis was a goofball for wanting to go apologize to Hangman Page. So more little teases here, a little dissension there in the ranks between Don Callis and Kenny Omega. Don Callis is definitely up to something. There's certainly something going on with Don Callis. He's going to be the catalyst to swing the momentum to the Blackpool Combat Club or the Elite in this situation for sure.
So did they kind of address the, Kenny saw the video later and Hangman didn't actually attack him?
No, actually, they did not. They did not even mention that. I know I mentioned it last week. Now that you bring it up, I mean, all Kenny has to do is go back and watch the fucking tape.
Look at the fucking video.
You see what Don did.
Yeah, because it sounded like he said, well, why'd you get all mad when you... why'd you get all mad when you thought Hangman attacked me?
Yeah.
Because he attacked you before. So I think that was kind of their way of saying, like, you thought he attacked me.
Yeah.
But then again, if you look at that, Don said he attacked me. Don said, oh, he fucking hit me.
Yeah.
So now when he found out that he didn't, why isn't Kenny more upset at Don Callis? There's still that logic gap right there.
Maybe that comes up in a skit or a promo somewhere. I don't know. They should definitely call that out. So we got that happening. We move on to the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. They were hanging out with Daddy Magic, Matt Menard. You guys know Matt Menard, Daddy Magic. Where's my...
Do you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard?
You know it. You know it. So they're together, and Angela Parker's there as well. They're at a St. Louis Blues game, local restaurant, riding a merry-go-round. They're all having a great time around St. Louis. Parker then asked if they're in or out. Anthony Bowen said they'll tell them next week. When Parker and Menard were left alone, Parker said they had fun, but they hope it's worth it. So I didn't mind the I I didn't mind the segment, but you know,
they don't give a shit about their tag titles anymore. They just said fuck it.
Clearly, they're having a night out on the town with Daddy Magic. I mean, which is great, bro. The tag team titles are a night on the town with Daddy Magic.
The ass boys are parading around with their fucking titles, and they're out hanging with fucking 2.0 over here.
Now, clearly, we know they have no interest in the Acclaimed. This is all a ruse or a setup or a troll. So, I don't know, man. You know, the Acclaimed, bro, the Acclaimed were up here, and now the Acclaimed are, I don't know where the fuck they are.
Just like that. They're gone.
I wouldn't say they're done, but they fell off the face of the fucking earth. Baby face fucking disease in AEW. I don't know.
Man, dude.
No more Sesame Daddy ass. What happened, man? That was fucking taken over.
They were on fire, man. They had the crowds on fire. They were hyped. These guys came out. The music hit. They were tag champs. Everybody loved the Acclaim. They lost to the ass boys. It's all good. Watch the Acclaim. Get their shit back at the pay-per-view. No. Okay. Maybe they'll start getting them back. No. We're hanging out with Daddy fucking Magic watching his nipples.
Bro, what happened to everybody that came out of that tag team title feud, man? The Acclaimed are fucking doing shit like this. Keith Lee and Swerve are not even on TV, man.
Grandpa Lee is on Dark, bro, and he's teaming with Dustin, who is literally a grandfather right now.
I don't get it.
Congratulations to Dustin and his daughter.
Congratulations to Dustin. We love Dustin. I don't get it, man. You know, shit like that's going to drive Keith Lee back to WWE when his contract's up.
Yeah.
Same thing with Wardlow. Shit creative, man. Not going to be something that flies with these guys. Nobody, Zack Ryder even fucking, or Matt Cardona rather. He may actually be on the Raw after Mania from the rumors I'm reading. He said, not signing with AEW was a blessing in disguise. I wonder why. Did Triple H offer you a contract? He said, if I was working AEW, bro, I'd be on Dark.
He would. 100%.
Is he wrong? No.
No. But I will say this. I will admit this. From the word go, my stance would have been Matt Cardona would be better served in WWE. Yeah, for sure. That was always the best place for him to land as opposed to AEW. Not that he's not good enough. It's just that he has way more value in WWE.
Yes.
Way more.
Yes, absolutely. So I do agree with him there for sure. But yeah. I mean, AEW, it's just AEW showing you that there's, too much talent, not enough room. A feud like Lee and Swerve that's basically been abandoned, not on TV.
Gone.
I don't know, man. Gone. Sucks.
Gone. Swerve, I don't know what to say. I mean, where's Hit Row in WWE?
I've never mind them.
No.
Another thing, now that we got Jericho, I'm going to mention this now before I forget. Jericho clearly is going to be starting a feud with Adam Cole from what we gathered at the end of the night on Dynamite. Where does that leave the House of Black? Because the House of Black now, they won the Trios Championship from the Elite. The Elite are feuding with the Blackpool Combat Club. Jericho's feuding with Adam Cole, presumably, from what we saw at the end of this show. Where are they going to be now, bro? Do we have any plans for the House of Black, TK?
House of Black should have a plethora of opponents coming up. They should be lining up. They should be lining up the best friends with Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy does not need that goddamn title. All right, let's just start there. There's a plethora of opponents for. I mean, we still have the Death Triangle all over again with Death Triangle versus House of Black. There's a bunch of people they have lined up for House of Black if they just set it up. I don't want to just throw them in the ring. Give these guys a story and let them start building it. There's so much stuff they could be doing with these guys.
All right, man, I'm worried. Worried about these guys.
No, get me wrong. You should be worried.
Yes.
Absolutely. You should be worried because they're not going to do it the right way.
No, they're not.
But you shouldn't have to be. There should be plenty of things. The Elite and Kenny should have things to do in the tag division and in the singles division. Like I said before, I think the trios division is something that could be like a mid-card tag division, quote unquote. The Dark Order could easily be something for the House of Black to do because the Dark Order needs to be built back up. And I think a feud with the House of Black is a good way to start doing that, especially when Stu Grayson back, man.
Yeah.
Dark Order will be a fantastic opponent for the House of Black. I would love to see that, man.
Me too. I mean, that's just easy. You know, Miro, there was a report that Miro, the reason why Miro's not on TV, people still asking about Miro is because he didn't want to lose a battle royal to Adam Page. He didn't like that creative pitch. So I mentioned on Sunday, I don't know if you've seen Jesse, he was okay with Vince McMahon making him into a cuck and having Lana in the same bed with Bobby Lashley. He was okay with that, though.
We all know that Lana fucking enjoyed that BBC, man. The same BBC that Hangman was talking about tonight.
I don't know.
You see, he called him the BBC.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
Listen, man, I didn't even fucking pick that up, man. I made that mistake. Listen, man, it's an easy mistake to make. You know?
Then if you listen, somebody was laughing in the background.
Maybe he did it on purpose. I don't know.
That was really good.
The almighty BBC.
But God, yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, they pretty much all but said that Rusev had to sit there and watch Lana get dicked down by Bobby Lashley, man, which was so
Guy was a fucking cuck, bro. They had a marriage to Lana with Bobby Lashley, jumped out of a cake, did Miro. I mean, holy shit, man. You'd rather be a cuck than fucking put over Adam Page in a battle royal, which I'm sure would have been great. You know?
Why would you do this to this man? First off, why are you sitting there turning down storylines with AEW? But flip it. Second of all, why are you burying this guy because he turned down one creative pitch? The fans want to see him.
I don't think that's the reason, dude. That's the CJ said something about, we're just going to end up back in WWE anyway. What? To be a part of more cucking? I mean, you know who's over there.
CJ, Melissa Santos, they got their fucking men buried in AEW.
They did. It's the reason why he's off TV.
Yep.
But they're in Bulgaria vacationing. Good luck. God bless.
God, dude.
Dalton Castle and the boys, before you jump on TK for incorporating Ring of Honor bullshit on this show against the Blackpool Combat Club, or the BBC, like Adam Page so eloquently put tonight. 1 minute, Claudio, Moxley, and Yuta attacked them before the bell. Absolutely destroyed these guys. Claudio with a sit-out power bomb was enough for the win here as they destroyed them around ringside. 1 minute. I told Jess I could have watched this for another 5 minutes easy.
Yep. Good. They no one wants to see the ROH stuff on TV, much less Dalton Castle and his boy toys. But the way that they was presented and they were beat down by the Blackpool Combat Club, great. Do it again next week. You know, just it made the Combat Club look that much stronger and that much better.
Hey.
Which is what we want. So.
Listen, this was in and out. Love it.
Yep.
Omega and Vikingo, they had a little video package there, kind of leading into the next segment with Omega. He was standing in front of a New Japan sponsor backdrop, telling Jeff Cobb to follow him to America to try and take the IWGP United States title. Then a soundbite aired with Cobb telling him that he's coming to St. Louis. So there is a story behind this match, and obviously you guys know the United Empire and Will Ospreay and the Omega saga. So there is a built-in feud here. So, you know, coming out of that, we go into Jeff Cobb and Kenny Omega for the IWGP United States Championship. But before that, Adam Page, Marvez interviewed Adam Page and asked him for an update on the Young Bucks. Hangman says they've been better. He said Nick has a separated shoulder, which I believe is a storyline. I don't think Nick is injured. The only thing that's being reported is Matt has a partial bicep tear, which he did mention here in this promo. Marvez asked who did it. Hangman asked, are you kidding, Marvez? I mean, it was obviously the BBC. It was the Blackpool Combat Club. Callis walked in. Hangman asked who the hell invited him. Callis said he slipped last week and he apologized for the misunderstanding. He says he wouldn't want to get in between him and Omega. Hangman asked if it was for real. Suddenly, Mox, Yuta, and Claudio attacked Hangman. Callis offered a handshake to Mox. Moxley just fucking blasted him in the face with a right hand. And it was reported that Don Callis was legitimately injured in this segment because when he went down after the Moxley punch, he came up busted open. So PW Insider's reporting that Don Callis was legitimately injured during this segment when he struck his head while going down after the punch to Moxley. He was legitimately busted open. So hopefully Don Callis is good and well there. And hopefully nothing serious comes out of that. But Listen, man, Blackpool Combat Club running shit like the fucking Shield used to do on WWE TV, man. I love to see it.
Love it, man. They do what they want when they want to whom they want, and that's the vibe I'm getting. So if that's the case, then that's gonna give the opportunity for another babyface group, or faction to go up against these guys, and someone's got to take them down. That's the good part about this, man. They are so fucking dominant. They look so strong that they're gonna have to build a babyface team to look better than these guys to take them down. And I can't wait to see what they come up with for this.
Omega and Jeff Cobb for the IWGP United States Championship. This was just a good old-fashioned classic wrestling match. Jeff Cobb is so underrated. He may look, ordinary to you guys. He may look a little boring. He's not the quintessential, oh my God, he's the megastar type of look that you may think about. But, man, Jeff Cobb can fucking wrestle, man. He is great. Omega and Cobb work really good together. Cobb looked strong in defeat in this one. He showed his power early. Definitely a different match compared to Vikingo last week. Cobb was sent to the floor. Omega hit his Terminator dive. Kotaro Crusher. He tried for a body slam. Cobb collapsed on top of him because Cobb is much bigger than Omega. Running brainbuster by Cobb. He was in control, targeting the ribs of Kenny Omega after last week. So Omega tried to come back, and he tried to go for the you can't escape. He buckled, and Cobb hit a spinning back suplex. Cobb tried a huge release German suplex, and Omega landed on his feet, charged with his Polish hammer. So backslide into a running knee strike, got Omega a 2 count. Omega then went for the V-trigger, but Cobb hit a standing drop kick. Omega then got out of a sticky situation in a fireman's carry. Multiple snapdragons. Cobb popped up, lariat. Both guys are down. So they struggle to get to their feet. Both guys get back to a vertical base. Throwing forearms, chops. Cobb hit an uppercut, attacking the ribs again. Cobb set up Omega in the corner with a rising headbutt. Big delayed vertical suplex off the top rope. So we got a standing moonsault here. And Cobb with the standing moonsault. Not Omega. Cobb with the standing moonsault. Only got a 1. And or near fall rather, not a 1. He went for a V-trigger, then he tried for the one-winged angel, and then he went for his finish, the Tour of the Islands. So he didn't hit the one-winged angel, and then he tried to go for the Tour of the Islands, his finishing move, but Omega countered, big ripcord knee, followed by a V-trigger. Omega then got Cobb up for his one-winged angel, and that was enough for the victory over Jeff Cobb to retain the IWGP United States title. Post-match, Moxley, Castagnoli, and Yuta surrounded ringside like fucking sharks. And they were about to attack Omega, but Bryan Danielson hit the ring, and he told the Blackpool Combat Club to back off. What are you guys doing? This is not us. So Danielson offered to help Omega back up. Omega then ran to the opposite side of the ring where Danielson was standing, and he went to go attack the Blackpool Combat Club. Now, why would you do that if Bryan's in the ring? You kind of know that Bryan is aligned with these guys still, kind of. But Bryan set up for the Busaiku knee, and Omega turned around, and he ate a fucking beautiful Busaiku knee. Bryan then applied the label lock. Everybody else took out the security that was trying to break this shit up. Danielson had a big smile on his face, and Omega was left laying in the middle of the ring thanks to this attack by the Blackpool Combat Club. Bro, I don't know where we're going with this, going into Double or Nothing, but if we get Bryan versus Omega for the IWGP United States title at Double or Nothing, man, take my fucking money.
Man.
Take my money. We're getting round 2, bro. Give it to me.
Man, I don't know where this is going, but soon as his music hit, and somehow, I don't know how the announcers didn't know Bryan's music. There was no video package. It was just the music. And they were like, what? Who is this? I'm like, it's Bryan's music. What the fuck you mean, who is this? So he's coming out. I'm like, oh, Bryan's going to turn heel. He's going to turn heel. There's no way Bryan's going to come out and then side with Omega. No, he's going to turn heel. And then so he turned his back to him like, oh, yes, here we go. Here we go. I think I text you. I think I just jizzed a little bit, bro.
Yeah, I mean.
That was fucking awesome, man.
Listen, man, Bryan has stated in interviews that he likes being a heel more. And, you know, after having this match with MJF, where he obviously had to be the babyface to MJF's heel, What else, honestly, what else was there for him to do as a babyface? You know, so if we're going back to Bryan being a heel and aligning himself with the Blackpool Combat Club, man, I'm not going to fucking complain. Because Bryan's heel work, you know, even when he teased it in AEW, he was tremendous. I mean, it wasn't as good as what he did in WWE as the Planet's champion.
The Planet's champion.
Man, that shit was fucking great.
Oh, man.
He came out with the hemp title.
That was so
I mean, he was so fucking good.
What a dick, man. Oh, that was so good.
If this gives us Omega versus Bryan, babyface versus heel, and we're off and running with Omega's singles run here, man. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't revisit Bryan and Omega at the pay-per-view. I mean, Tony Khan's got a lot of shit that he could do here, man. That's fucking exciting. He has to visit this.
Yeah.
You know, Bryan, I don't know if Bryan has mentioned that he wants the IWGP United States Championship. I don't know why he wouldn't. It's not a title he's ever held. Why not?
Man. Give him whatever he wants and make it a Planet's belt.
Yeah, really.
Turn the New Japan U.S. title into a hemp belt.
And the crowd, you know, the crowd didn't really want this either. They cheered when he picked up Omega off the ground, and then they booed when the Blackpool Combat Club stood as a foursome in the ring, standing above Omega. So this was great heel heat. This was a beautiful turn, even though it was very telegraphed, and you kind of seen it coming out there the way Bryan was walking around,
building it up. And the crowd was like, "Oh no, no, stop!"
So I don't know, man. There's a lot. Again, you know, for the geeks out there that want to complain that it's Tony Khan booked another match with a nobody from New Japan. This plays into what we got a great match. You got pro wrestling tonight, and then you got a storyline where the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite continue their feud. Bryan turned heel. He's now aligned himself back with the Blackpool Combat Club. Plus, you got the story in the match with the United Empire, who is still feuding with Omega for the United States Championship in New Japan. This is going to lead to Ospreay getting his title back. I mean, there's multiple things going on here. So, you know, for everybody that says that this did not serve a purpose, Tony Khan didn't book this match as a nothing match. He didn't throw a fucking dart in his office and it landed on Jeff Cobb out of four or five other random guys. This was made with purpose. If you don't see that, you're not watching the show weekly, man. Go watch something else.
Pay closer attention, man. Stop looking at that. There's the match. I'm gonna look at just the match and nothing else.
Yeah.
There's so much going on around it. Now you got to look at last week's match with Kenny. You got to factor that in, the story around that, and the story around this one, and let's see where they go from here. This is all great, and like you keep saying, Forbidden Door 2 is coming up, man. This stuff is all the build-up. We're looking at the build to Forbidden Door right here in front of us.
Forbidden Door is always a show where there's no build.
It's
just a show for marks.
What are these people looking at?
There's a story here from January, from before that on Twitter.
God
almighty, man. People are so dumb.
Oh, no, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Give me Omega and Bryan at Double or Nothing. TK, you heard me, bro.
Man.
The Guns. Austin Gunn with his brother backstage said FTR are truly one of the great tag teams of their generation. He said it's sad that it took them 19 years to get there. Colton then said they busted their asses for those titles. Now they are holding the AEW Tag Team Championships as champions. Austin criticized FTR for taking time off to bitch and moan and politic for a title shot. He told FTR that they used to be their heroes, but when they met them, now they hate them and don't respect them. Colton said next week they battle in a titles versus career match, and it will be top guys out. I don't know, man. I'm still going with FTR to win next week, man. I don't think that they jump ship.
No, and I'll tell you when FTR was re-signed. FTR was re-signed when the Acclaim lost those damn tag titles.
Yes.
And that's why the Gun Club has them, so that they can lose them to FTR.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I know I had mentioned this as a possibility as to why we didn't get the one-on-one match with the Acclaim, or the two-on-two match, I should say, with the Acclaimed and the Guns, why they didn't specifically just focus on that. Because realistically, coming out of that match where they lost the titles, the Acclaimed, it should have resulted in a rematch at the pay-per-view or Revolution. We didn't get that. We got a four-way, which was, like Jesse said, kind of biding time. TK knew that the Acclaim weren't going to win the titles back. TK knew the Gun Club were going to retain the titles. In that point, he probably re-signed FTR. And the Guns, who had a feud coming into that match with FTR before the Acclaimed, is going to be the team that drops the titles back to FTR because it closes up that storyline there. So I do think that they are back.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, they are. And I don't know why the Gun Club had to be interjected here. If you wanted to put the titles on look, I don't know why you have to put the titles on FTR right away. If it was a part of the deal, maybe, I don't know. That doesn't seem like FTR's way, but whatever. But if you just had to put the titles on them, I don't understand why we just couldn't get a good build of the Acclaim versus FTR. I think it would have been great for the Acclaim's career to put on a fantastic wrestling match, babyface versus babyface against FTR.
Yeah. Or maybe we get that at some point. I mean, if FTR is going to win the tag team titles and they're going to build that, or rebuild, it should be a rebuilding of the division because the division's in fucking shambles right now. Maybe we end up getting back to that point. Maybe we get the Acclaim versus FTR somewhere down the line for the tag team championships.
Yeah, maybe, I guess. It just makes no
But the
sense.
Guns, man, Guns are looking good, man. I'm a big fan. I wasn't a big fan of the Guns. I found them to be kind of annoying and just not really generating the type of heat that I would want from, guys like that. But, man, they're really coming along. They're definitely a little bit more seasoned and a little bit more polished. They're understanding a little bit more of who they are and how they want to be presented on TV, man. I've loved their work for the last, I would say most of 2023, since they kind of turned that corner and won the tag team titles. I think they've been fantastic.
I think they've been great. And you know what? What I would have done to maybe reward them for their work, not put the titles on them right away.
Yeah.
If this is the way you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But I would have built that match with FTR versus the Acclaim. Let it be a fantastic 20, 25-minute match and let FTR win and the Acclaim lose due to interference from the fucking Gun Club. And then started Gun Club and the Acclaim after FTR wins.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that they, are going to be labeled as transitional champions possibly. They're young enough where they're going to overcome this and it's just going to be, a little bump in the road. They're so young that they'll be 2, 3, 4-time tag team champions by the end of their AEW run. But giving them the titles to just take them off to put them on FTR doesn't really spell out to me that Tony Khan is looking at the future of AEW to rebuild a division,
Here's the shitty part. When you say transitional champions, I don't know if you're talking about the Gun Club or the Acclaim because they were both just treated as transitional champions.
Basically.
So
the Gun Club more so than the Acclaim, but they could probably be put in the same sentence.
It's messed up, man.
Yeah.
I think the Acclaim deserved a bona fide title run. This was their first title win. They've done such good work, man. They started off on dark, man. And they got themselves straight up over. I mean, they were just as over as the Young Bucks at one point, the Acclaim were. And their title run just gone.
Yeah.
What'd they do? Who'd they even defend against?
I don't even remember.
That's the problem.
I don't even remember. The best
Nothing
friends?
of note in their title run.
No.
Nothing. They're like the Charlotte Flair of the tag division right now.
Oh, please. Don't mention her name in my presence. Butcher and Blade. They're out there. Butcher's wrestling Orange Cassidy for the International Championship. Butcher look good.
Love Butcher and Blade. Butcher looks fucking great, man. Love him.
Looks good out there. I would love to know. I'm on the Ring of Honor media call on Thursday, tomorrow, with Tony Khan and a bunch of other journalists. Maybe I should ask Tony Khan. I'm legitimately wondering, bro, why the international title is more like a TV title than the TNT title. That's exactly what it is. Orange Cassidy's on fucking TV every week defending this shit, and Will Hobbs barely got a fucking 15-second promo tonight.
I was going to say, give Hobbs a minute. He just got it. But at the same time, they should be moving with Hobbs right away. He should have been on TV right away.
Bro, it's been... When did he win that title? 2 weeks ago?
A few weeks ago, yeah. Has he...
3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
What has he done?
Nothing.
He should be on TV right away, reiterating that he is the fucking owner of that title and he's going to run roughshod and everything. Even if he doesn't have a match, man, it needs to be made abundantly clear That it's just not gonna be another bullshit TNT title run, and he's gonna be the. Right now, so far, that's what it is. So let's see how it comes out. I want Hobbs to. I need Will Hobbs to succeed as the TNT champion. We need someone to hold that goddamn title down. No one has done it since Miro.
I don't really get the lack of fucking care for the TNT. When did the TNT title become a throwaway garbage title?
When Orange Cassidy got that title, because now that title has gotten Tony Khan's focus.
Yes, because Orange Cassidy is a favorite of Tony Khan's.
Bingo.
Can't be booking like that, man.
Nope.
Can't be booking championship. I mean, Will Hobbs is a fucking beast. Like, what are we doing? You know, there was a rumor going around that Wardlow may be jumping ship when his contract comes to an end in AEW, jumping ship to WWE. This was obviously reported by Ringside News, which is not the most credible of sources.
Well, then.
But, I mean, I don't know how far off that fucking report really is, because we've talked about that for months.
I don't know why. I mean, Wardlow's been treated so well here.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Tony Khan has given him the fucking palace and the keys to the kingdom, man. I mean, what is that not like there with Wardlow? You know?
So fucking ridiculous, man.
Wardlow, by the way, has a drink on my drink menu in my mother's basement.
Wardlow does?
Yeah.
Does Hobbs have one?
Hobbs does not. No.
But Wardlow does?
Wardlow does, yeah.
Okay. Good shit.
Yeah. That doesn't mean we don't like Will Hobbs here. We love Will Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs.
I'm not going to your mother's basement.
TK dressed as Orange Cassidy for Halloween. Why am I not surprised by that? I mean,
did Orange Cassidy dress as TK for Halloween?
I mean, is anybody going to ask that question? Why is the International Championship more like the TV title that the TNT title is supposed to be? Should I ask that question? Is that a legitimate question?
No one asked why the trios titles were more important than the tag titles when the Elite were holding on to them.
Maybe I should ask them about that too. Are we going to do anything to remedy the tag team division? Because it's certainly not the same way that we remember back two years ago.
I think it was him. I think it was TK that said a while back that he didn't want any title to be above any other. He wanted them to all be equal. Maybe he needs to reevaluate that. I think the titles need a hierarchy. They really, really do. Because right now they mean nothing. Nothing should be more important than MJF's title. After that, nothing should be worth more than Hobbs' title. You know, after that, then Orange Cassidy, then the tag division, then the trios division. I mean, no, I guess the women in there somewhere when you start booking the women correctly. I mean, but
yeah, before you know it, we're going to get women's tag team titles. And they're going to be nothing and meaningless.
Please, no. I left the women off that list because TK has left the women off his list. I mean, what happened to the women's division? I'm so sick of women coming out with spraying people with spray paint. I don't know what to do. I
don't know. Orange Cassidy wins in 8 minutes over the Butcher. It was a good use of the Butcher being, you know, he was running single and not in a tag team with Blade. But Orange Cassidy's on TV every fucking week, man. I feel like it's losing its luster, you know? The gimmick has lost its luster, to be honest with you. I think Orange Cassidy's tremendous, but,
yeah, you
know, I got questions about these fucking titles and why they're so worthless to me. I don't know. Jade Cargill, speaking of worthless, TBS title.
Hey.
TBS title. I didn't mean Jade. Or maybe I did. I don't know.
Come on.
Video package here with Jade Cargill talking about Taya Valkyrie. Smart Mark Sterling. He threatened the lawsuit that Valkyrie uses the Jaded to win her match on Friday's Rampage. And they will sue her if she does. Jade said she is the goddess of AEW. This is the level of storytelling, man. This is riveting television.
I gotta admit, I don't enjoy the lawsuits over wrestling moves angle that they do quite often.
No.
I think that's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, well, that's his thing.
Yeah.
He trademarked scissoring, and now he's suing Taya Valkyrie for a move that she probably owned before Jade Cargill even decided she wanted to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
I don't know. Is Taya going to win the title from Jade? People were legitimately asking me this question. No.
The answer is no.
No. She's 54
and if
0.
she does, it helps no one.
She's 53-1. Okay?
I thought you was gonna say Ty was 53 years old. Like, wow, she's that old?
No, she's not that old.
I thought you were gonna say that. I swear I did.
Listen, man. We're doing big business in the gym, man. We're working towards that pull-up. Okay?
that one pull-up.
That one pull-up. We're working towards it, man. I'm already squatting 225. We're working towards the pull-up. And you better fucking believe, man. I got the tweet already saved up, man. I'm gonna quote tweet the tweet from October 30th, and I'm gonna fucking put a video in it of me doing a pull-up. 2, in fact.
2.
And I'm gonna at Jake Carr again. Listen on it. You asked me to do a pull-up. Here you go. What happened now?
They're just gonna tell you to go back to your mother's basement. You're like,
don't worry. We got it. We got it Friday, man. You can come on down. Come on.
I did that.
Ruby Soho. Actually, no. I'm sorry. Listen, I can't skip. Juice Robinson, bro. Rock hard. Juice Robinson was on the show. I mean, bro, this is an unsolved mystery. I still don't know what Juice does to call himself rock hard. I don't get it.
I don't know, man.
It's fucking.
Can
someone tell me, please?
I've been working on my rock hard. Rock hard.
He's rock hard, pal.
Then I've been working on my.
Sounds like a Vince McMahon thing. Juice Robinson was talking about facing Action Andretti, who's gotten 0. Has he gotten action on Dark, bro? Has he been on Dark? Action Andretti?
I have not watched Dark this week yet. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
I don't blame you. Talking about Action Andretti on Rampage, he says he has tunnel vision for Ricky Starks right now, but he'll be making an example out of him to send to Starks, a message to Starks. Great.
I don't know.
Great.
Maybe Starks will get his message.
Man, and listen, man, if this is potentially trying to draw and lure Jay White into AEW, I don't think this is going to work. You know, WrestleVote said that Triple H is fairly confident that Jay White's going to end up signing with WWE.
No one is going to lure or tempt or score Jay White at this point. Jay White already knows where he's going and why he's going there. All right. I mean, he's not sitting around going, I don't know. He knows where he's going.
Of course
we don't know where he's going yet. But he's not on the fence. He knows he's going with his fucking friends, or he wants to go to the and become a star.
He may show up at WrestleMania. We don't know.
Just might.
He may be the reason why Cody loses against Roman. We don't know.
I think the easy choice for Jay White is AEW. And I think him going to the E is him taking a chance on himself. I really do.
Which, by all accounts, he should, because he's fucking great.
Yeah, well, it'll be his second try. He already went there once and failed, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe I don't think he failed. They just failed to use him correctly. But maybe he wants to prove to himself, or maybe he wants to say, fuck you guys. You didn't want me when I was, not anything, but now you want, so.
Yeah, we'll see.
Who knows, man?
Ruby Soho, she was out there with Tony Time. Could be Tony Time any time of the day. 7 days a week. Saraya.
It's looking good nowadays, man.
Yeah, she always looked good. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay.
Willow Nightingale was out there against Ruby
Hello.
Soho. Listen, man, it's tough for me to get into this because I don't care about who Willow is. Ruby Soho is fine, but man, this whole storyline is falling flat. We talked about this. At the end of the match, after Soho got the legs on the ropes for added leverage as she cheated to win here, we got the Outcasts attacking.
Aubrey saw nothing. She looked
this she didn't see. Everything else she sees.
Everything else she sees. She comes running her ass from the back. How come no one ran from the back to come save? I mean, come on, man.
Outcasts attacked Willow. Ruby pulled out a chair, and they were about to Pillmanize the leg of Willow. Riho and Sky Blue, who could also be a part of, can be a part of Tony Time 7 days a week, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there. Ran out for the save, but they were quickly overwhelmed. Soho was about to spray Riho with spray paint, but
you want Riho 7 days a week?
No. Sky Blue can be a part of Tony Time 7 days a week, not Riho. I don't want it to be Riho time.
Is it Riho time?
No. Okay. No. Maybe somebody else wants Riho time, but not me.
What? Kenny? What?
Who?
What?
No. What? I don't know.
Who said Kenny? Okay. Go ahead.
I didn't say nothing.
All right.
Jamie Hayter ran out there for the save. She gave Soho a nasty backbreaker. Saraya and Storm fled the ring. Hayter helped Riho to her feet. Riho signaled she wants the AEW Championship, the Women's Championship, and in 7 days, next week on Dynamite, she'll be getting a championship match against Jamie Hayter. Hayter looked fierce out there. Good for her. She looked great. She was about to take Tony's head off with a clothesline that missed. But I don't know where this is going, man. Week after week after week, Riho comes out with that lead pipe, and she's looking to attack, man, 3 weeks in a row now. What the fuck's going on here? Has there been any advancements in this storyline outside of Riho running down to the ring with a steel pipe with Willow and Sky Blue?
Yeah, I don't know. Did I see Sheeta back in the States? I saw her on a plane on Twitter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know if she
do we even need her here anymore? I don't think so.
I would gladly insert Sheeta over Riho, yes.
Yes, I would take Sheeta over Riho any day of the week, but
yes.
Have we progressed anything here?
No. And I still want to know where Serena Deeb and Mercedes Martinez is too.
I don't know. I don't think.
More importantly, Serena Deeb.
More importantly, Britt Baker, man, still going at Thunder Rosa with Slam Wrestling now. Interview with Slam Wrestling. She says, I stand by everything I said about Rosa because I still have the same questions. You are traveling all over the place for other projects, but you're not coming to work when you are the champion. I have that question. I want to know why. I'm just asking that question because I'm very passionate and protective of AEW. Anyone could call me a bully, but I stand by that, and I question that she still hasn't answered this to this day. People like Adam Cole would have killed to be able to come to work, but he cannot travel. It's not like he can and was going in and doing a signing or a convention or seminar. They're not coming to work, but he hasn't been able to leave the house. End quote.
No, I think this is all for access because she can get that answer from her boss.
Yes.
Easily.
Yes. So. This was definitely, I believe this was Britt Baker in character for access. That's the first vibe I got there, too. Because really, why are you still asking these questions? I mean, clearly Thunder Rosa is on the show, the Access show, and clearly Britt Baker and Adam Cole are two major stars of the show. So you know whatever happened between Rosa and Britt Baker is going to be documented on the show. So they're just playing up the show. Yeah. Simple. Moving on. We got Adam Cole, baby, versus Daniel Garcia in the main event. And before that, Excalibur plugged Rampage on Friday, so you guys know what's to come on Rampage. Guevara will go one-on-one with Konosuke Takeshita. That may be something to look out for there. Malachi Black and Brody King versus Best Friends. There you go. Taya Valkyrie versus The Problem. Marina Shafir. She's still there.
Now,
she's still employed, bro. That's a surprise to me, man.
I want to put this out there. For those of you, we got, a little under 2K here, about 1,900 of you guys here. We come here all the time and we shit on Marina Shafir because she has been that bad. Me, myself. But for the very small percentage of you in this chat that has heard me recently say before this Moxley interview came out that Marina Shafir is showing signs of improvement. I've said it on my channel. I said it on my dark reviews. I actually said before, it was about 2 weeks before this reveal that Moxie's been helping her and training with her and working with her. I said, look, I'm not ready to sit here and say that she's ready for the main event, but I call it like I see it, man. And same thing with Britt Baker. And when she first started and she was bad, I called her bad. Hi, Brittany. And when I saw significant improvement, I was the first one on here saying, whoa. I'm done with that Britt Baker hate. She is improving. She's improving. I'm saying the same thing here about Marina Shafir. She still has a long way to go in the charisma department, but her in-ring work has gotten significantly better. It has.
Oh, man. Where are we in the show, bro? Are we at Adam Cole and Daniel Garcia yet?
What do you think?
I don't know, man. You mentioned Marina, and then I drifted off into Dreamland.
Be a professional here.
What? Who?
Me,
professional, man. Come on, man.
Do your job.
Do my job of what? We've done a great job so far. Hi, Britt. How you doing, honey? How you doing?
What do you think of Marina Shafir's improvements?
I don't know because I don't watch Dark.
Maybe you should have paid attention instead of sleeping while I was talking.
I don't watch Dark, bro. Who watches Dark?
Did you hear what I just said?
I didn't hear a fucking word.
It's okay. All right.
You talk to my loyal subscribers, bro. That's all that matters, man. As long as they're entertained by you, man. That's all that matters.
Okay.
She's getting better, bro. Really? How has the crowd reactions been?
I said what I said, man. Like I said, she's not ready for a main event. She has a long way to go, but her in-ring work has improved.
No.
I said it.
I don't know. Listen. In-ring
That
action. The
doesn't mean
in-ring
she's-
action of Marina Shafir is improved, man. I'm
I
gonna
didn't
keep
say-
an eye
it
out on that.
it doesn't mean she's popping the crowd and coming out to, like stone cold. But like I said, man, the girl is improving. She's working at it. She is.
I'll take your word on that, man. I'll tell you. Listen, I trust you, bro. Well,
Okay.
we'll figure it out. I'll go watch some Marina sometime in the future, man. We'll worry about that.
I'm not even saying, hey, bro, you got to go see it. I'm just letting you know that there is improvement. She is getting better in the ring. I'm not saying it's something to go behold and witness. I'm just saying I've seen people week after week after week not get a bit better at all. And I'm telling you right now, Marina Shafir has gotten better in the ring.
Okay.
She has.
Adam Cole. What'd you think of Adam Cole's performance tonight, man? Did he miss a beat? I don't think he missed a beat at all. Looked pretty damn good out there against Daniel Garcia.
He did, man. Like he was happy to be back.
Yep.
Like he was, taking it easy and taking it slow in spots, as he should. I think they were playing up the concussion angle a little bit too much.
Yeah, I don't think Adam Cole should be pile drived by Daniel Garcia twice. I mean,
they were the safest pile drivers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But still, let's chill with and I don't get this whole segment. This whole thing was this whole main event segment was just for access, it looks like.
So it certainly looked like Garcia was in control. Obviously, they played up the head issues of Adam Cole here with some pile drivers. They kept teasing the head injury. Referee was checking on him. Garcia blocked a super kick into an open-handed slap. They both traded big boots. Garcia hit a big German suplex. Garcia then signaled for a super kick, but ran into one from Adam Cole. Instead, Cole missed the boom as Garcia landed in anvil elbows. He got his leg super kicked out. Cole missed the Panama Sunrise. Garcia countered with the Dragon Tamer. Cole then got the ropes. Garcia opted to pose and kind of flaunt. Garcia trapped both of Cole's arms in another pile driver. Cole kicked out. Garcia charged into a super kick. Cole hit a Panama Sunrise, followed by the boom, and that was it. Post-match, Britt Baker came out, and she came to the ring and kissed Adam Cole as streamers fell from the ceiling of the arena. Chris Jericho's music plays. I don't know.
What is that?
Chris Jericho's music. Katie Power walked to the ring. He helped Garcia, and he was glancing back at Cole not once but twice. And that was the way the show went off the air. It was a big final plug for All Access following Dynamite tonight on TBS. I don't mind that. I'm glad Adam Cole is back. I missed him dearly. He's one of the best in the world. Clearly, hopefully they got a plan for him back on television. Hopefully he can stay healthy so that we see that plan play out. But how you feeling about a Cole versus Jericho feud going into Double or Nothing, bro? You think that could be fruitful?
No, I hate it. That's stupid. Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Bro, you put Adam Cole and Chris Jericho in a match. Who's going to complain?
Oh, no, I'm not.
Who? No one's going to complain about it.
No.
That's going to be fucking great, man. That's going to be great. Like I said, I don't know. It feels so weird with this Adam Cole return. Like, I don't like. We got the pomp and circumstance here. We got the streamers falling. Britt Baker coming out. Dude, did Cole just win the world title from MJF or something? What the fuck just happened here tonight?
Well, you know, Tony Khan's over the top, bro. You know, that's exactly what he does. He's just happy to listen, I'd be happy to have Adam Cole back as well, because that's a huge missing piece to your roster.
How many people have come back from injury? Did they get streamers when they did?
I hope Randy Orton gets streamers when he comes back.
What? Why are we looking at streamers and shit, man?
I don't know.
I mean, what the hell is going on? It just
is Miro going to get streamers when he comes back?
You know, right? When Statlander come back, I better see some goddamn streamers.
Better be like the 4th of fucking July out there.
I'm telling you, like I think this was overdone. I understand. Maybe it's because we don't know firsthand the severity of how close we came to maybe not seeing Adam Cole wrestle again. I hear that was an extreme possibility, and thank God that did not come to fruition. But at the same time, he had a match against Daniel Garcia. He won, and we got streamers and Britt Baker's coming out. I mean, dude, why?
I don't know.
You know, why? Save that shit for when he wins gold.
Which may be in his future, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. TNT title may be in the future. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
international title, being that the TNT title seemingly looks like it's cursed.
Dude, what are they gonna do when he wins a world title? What
Bro,
the fuck?
Cole got that Lex Luger 1993 Detroit SummerSlam fucking celebration
for winning a match.
Winning a match, he didn't win the world title, man. He beat Yoko. He beat Yokozuna, but he didn't win the world title. Hey, let's celebrate.
What did we do here? Relax, guy. He's in the main event. We got streamers. We got his dentist coming out here, dude. What the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
What is going on?
I don't know.
That was a little bit overkill. Just a little bit overkill. We love to see the guy back. No one wants him back more than us. But come on. I think we're going over the top for this one.
Listen, man, I appreciate you guys joining me tonight on what was a very fun AEW Dynamite post. Very good show tonight by AEW. We got a lot of things to be excited about.
Oh, wait, before you get into the super chat, you see this little memo we get under One Winged Will?
Yes, One Winged Will is donating $50 in super chat. It is actually his first super chat. I like that, man.
Yeah.
One Winged Will. What the fuck are you drinking, brother? And he's a member.
There we go. First time super chat should get shout outs, man.
There you go. I love it. Says he's drinking an ice cold cola. Been following you since November 2018. The funniest, realest, coolest in the IWC. Love you, man. Who do you think takes the belt off MJF in 2024? Adam Cole may be the guy, bro.
Adam Cole could be the guy.
Adam Cole could be the guy.
I mean, the guy got fucking streamers and his dentist when he just beat Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see who he beats next week. What are they going to do then? Fly jets over the fucking arena like at the fucking Super Bowl or something?
I don't know.
We're going to get fucking parachute jumpers.
Anyway, guys, I appreciate you hanging out tonight. Please, if you don't mind, I would love if you hit that thumbs up. We got 618 likes, man. I'd love to get as close to 1,000 likes as possible, if you guys can do that. Super chats are open. Get them on in. It's last call. Memberships are open as well. Friday will be members only from my mother's basement and the grand opening, so make sure you guys get them on in if you want to be a part of the chat. If not, you're lost. And make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. Everything you need is on the homepage. There's an extra from yesterday, Raw from Monday, the post show. Sunday, we did OTS Live. Tomorrow, I will be live at 5 p.m. for the next installment of the podcast, because there will be no live show on Sunday because it is WrestleMania Night 2. So it's going to be a busy week, but that's what's coming up, guys. So please hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We just hit 143,000 last night. I appreciate you guys very much. Onwards and upwards towards 150 is the goal. And let's get into the super chats. Joseph Taylor with a 5. JD Jesse. I'm sorry, Jesse.
One second. I hear you stealing my gimmick, man. You doing a watch along?
For the first time, yes. First and only time. I'm doing one for NXT.
Gimmick infringement, man.
No. I could be gimmick infringing on Issa too, because she does the same thing.
Well, look, Issa is in Los Angeles.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna do some WrestleMania live watch along, man.
There you go.
Join me. I'll post something on it.
There you go. Sounds good. Yes, I'm only doing stand and deliver because I don't want to do a podcast right after stand and deliver and then get ready for dinner and take a nap and rest up for WrestleMania and then do the post show for WrestleMania. Let me bang it out, hang out with you guys, have a couple beers, and just chill. So that's what we're doing. Joseph Taylor with a 5. JD Jesse, 2 things. Edge versus Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell will steal a show at WrestleMania. Could very well happen. And the first memory you have watching wrestling as a kid.
I got this one. Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy, Saturday Night Live.
Yep. Probably Macho Man dropping the elbow on Ted DiBiase at WrestleMania 4.
Ooh, no. I don't know which one was first. I don't know if it was Hogan and Bundy or Macho Man dropping the bell on Ricky Steamboat's neck and just killing his trachea.
Yeah. Either one of those would suffice.
Yeah.
Undertaker. 18-0. He's an 18-month member. Just learned Jay White is the grandson of Bushwhacker Luke. Wow.
Really?
Life is strange. Hope all is well with you and keep on rocking. OTS for life. Undertaker, you've blown my mind with that fucking factoid here.
You said Jay White's father?
Jay White is the grandson of Bushwhacker Luke.
Grandson. Interesting.
That is crazy. I did not know that.
Let's see. New Zealand. Yeah.
Huh. Go figure. Look at that.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
Jonathan Spaulding becomes a new member. I'll see you in my mother's basement on Friday, brother. Thank you so much. Lord J. Coyle with a $2 super chat. Will you be watching the Stand and Deliver pre-show? No, I will not, but I know who just announced that she will be a part of it, so it gives me every reason not to watch it.
Oh, my God.
One-Winged Angel, a One-Winged Will with a new membership. Thank you, brother. Becomes a member tonight and then donates 50, man. We love One-Winged Will. The fuck are you drinking tonight, man? Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. BCC looking better and better than ever. Go Bryan. Do you think the heel BCC goes after MJF down the road? No. We don't need to do that. MJF needs to do his own thing. Lord Jake Coyle with a $5 super chat. Is Callis bleeding a hint at him joining BCC, or did I read too much into that? You definitely read too much into that, bro. That was not supposed to happen. Tony Brown with a $4.99. A Tony Soraya sandwich. Yes, that seems very appetizing, bro.
I think Soraya's already done the sandwich. Okay. All right.
Never mind. Ben Richardson with a $5 super chat. The Blackpool Combat Club has got to be the most dangerous group in all of wrestling, bar none. I don't know, man. We taking them over the bloodline? I don't know.
Probably more dangerous. I mean,
it could be more dangerous, man. Yeah. Joseph Taylor with a $5 super chat. JD Jesse, last week was 7 years since my mom passed away. I miss her every single day. She was the best mom I could ever ask for. Thoughts and prayers with you, Joseph. Sorry about that, brother. Yeah. Also, Joseph with a $5 super chat. JD Jesse, before AJ Styles retires, if he comes to AEW, the 5 opponents you would like to see AJ Styles face in AEW. Kenny Omega, number 1. Adam Cole, number 2. I'd love to see AJ versus Darby.
Yeah.
I'd love to see AJ versus... What else we got? Konosuke, yes.
Bryan?
Bryan? I mean, Bryan's an easy one. Matt, the PW fan with 3 months. Thank you, brother. For anyone who may not know, JD is now streaming Resident Evil 4 on a new streaming platform named Kick. Had a blast last night. It felt like old times. Yeah, last night was fun, man. I should have went to bed an hour earlier because I woke up feeling like shit this morning, but Yeah, it was a fun time, man. If you guys want to go follow me on Kick, I'm gonna put that link in the description of all my videos from now on. I think I'll be streaming over there as long as it's around. You
should have put a notification out on YouTube. I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Miles Marable with a $4.99. What's the name of the song from the beginning of the stream? Tonight's stream was The Long Road by Andy James. Also, what would you do if your Twitter beef with AEW roster gets mentioned on All Access? It won't. Nobody gives a fuck about what I have to say. JP5150, $10 super chat. BCC is the most violent faction in AEW. Bryan joining Mox, Claudio, and Yuta was awesome. Also, Bryan telling Kenny he's everything that is wrong with pro wrestling was funny. Pour me some Casa Dragones. It's going to be Bryan versus Omega at Double or Nothing, bro. Kind of fitting for the name, too. Double or Nothing. It'll be the second time they meet in AEW. Love it. Hollywood Guy with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, you should catch Conan's podcast. They talk shit about you, and some comments are harsh. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't give a shit, bro.
It's when you know you've made it, man. They're talking about us.
Bro,
they're talking about him. We're not talking about them.
I pull more viewers than that podcast. I don't care. We got a good thing going on here. What the fuck I gotta give a shit about Conan for?
Or Disco Inferno.
Or Disco Inferno. I mean, who cares? 5-star with a $5 super chat. No message. Thank you, 5-star. Gary with a $5 super chat. Hi, JD. This is my first super chat to you. Thank you, Gary. I want to say you're the realest, most honest, most down-to-earth guy in the IWC. So much respect to you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Jason Barker with a 20. What's your opinion on the Alexa Bliss fan clubs out there and people who think Alicia Fox is a legend? I think they are both garbage. Bro,
they're in the Hall of Fame.
I don't care, bro. I mean, listen, I appreciate you, Jason, for the 20 bomb. I do. I'm not a fan of Alexa Bliss. This is very much known. I think she works as if she doesn't want to be there, and Alicia Fox is not a legend. I mean, the fact that you use the term legend with Alicia Fox in the same sentence, I mean, you must be either dumb or delusional, or both.
Dude, Stacy Keibler is going to be a Hall of Fame.
I mean, listen, bro, if Stacy Keibler's in the Hall of Fame, you could be in the Hall of Fame.
What the?
Bro, I ran down her resume, bro. I looked at her resume, man. She's been a valet, and the most notable thing she did was wrestle in bra and panty matches, bro.
The most notable thing about Stacy Keibler are her legs.
Yes. And the fact that she dated George Clooney.
That's it.
She
has a complete, like, surfboard body, but she has fantastic legs. But that gets you in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, listen. You know, I wonder how those people are thinking, man. Stacy Keibler's in the Hall of Fame, but we can't get Chyna in the Hall of Fame.
As a solo, no.
As a solo act, yeah. 5-star with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. What's up, JD and Jesse? I would love to see CM Punk on Renee Paquette's sessions. He was. Before all this happened.
I blanked out. Who? On
CM Punk?
Oh, yeah. No, he was there.
He was on there. It was a good listen, too. DX for Life with a $5 super chat. Feels like AEW is going back to multiple stories all happening at once and making sense. Omega, even though he isn't AEW champ, is the MVP right now. Omega is looking the presentation of Omega is looking very good. For sure.
Yes. And a babyface Kenny Omega is going to be groomed for MJF.
Yes.
Easily, all day long.
Now that's going to be something interesting.
Yeah. Who wins? It's an interesting question.
I mean, imagine what MJF is going to do and say when he beats Omega, bro. He's already calling himself the best pro wrestler in the world. How many people already think Omega is the best pro wrestler in the world? Can you imagine that?
Yeah. So if they make it happen too fast, I'm gonna call it right away that MJF is gonna win. But if they give it a while, and if they put it off for a while, and MJF has had a long run, and then we get Kenny and MJF, I don't know.
Three Kings with a $9.99. Been watching some of All Access. I have some concerns that it seems like certain people get to air their grievances with other wrestlers to the world in a one-sided way. It's still too early, so we'll see. I haven't watched it yet, man. I'll watch it tomorrow.
No, but I said this once before. They were filming for this when Brawl Out happened.
Yeah.
So that footage, for all intents and purposes, should physically exist somewhere. Now, Could they bury it? Sure. but it probably exists somewhere, man.
N with a $4.99 super chat. Adam Cole said he got 2 concussions in a 3-week span on All Access. Maybe Punk wasn't lying about the AEW medical team. Well, I mean, what would the AEW medical team have to do with that? If Adam Cole cleared concussion protocol for the first concussion and got a second concussion, how is that the AEW medical team's fault? That's not Adam Cole's fault either, and shit happens.
When you guys watch the show and then chime in with super chats on the show we haven't watched yet, it's kind of hard to comment on it.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the show yet.
Yeah. Drew Gilmore with the 7 months. Hey, guys, I work at 7:45 a.m., so I'll catch the review tomorrow. You guys rock. Happy 7-month milestone to me. Proud to be an OTS family member. OTS for life. Thank you, buddy. I'd love to get down to your neck of the woods, man, in Orlando. I miss it down in Florida, man. AEW Mark with a $4.99. Tanahashi versus Garcia at Ring of Honor this Friday. TK, Ring of Honor out, booking TK AEW. Also, do you like the red, white, and blue ropes? Wish they were live for ROH Friday. Did they just announce Tanahashi versus Garcia for Ring of Honor? Because that wasn't on the match card. Yeah, Jesse's looking it up. I didn't realize that was a match. For those asking, I will not be covering the Ring of Honor show.
Oh, yeah. There we go, bro.
Yeah.
Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Daniel Garcia for ROH.
Boy, Tony Khan, man, he's a wily motherfucker, man. Yeah, he knows he's going up against SmackDown. He's like, bitch, I'm gonna fucking make you want to watch my show.
It's taped. Is Supercard of Honor taped?
No, it's live.
Live. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's got to be live.
Good. Yeah, man. I'm gonna bail on SmackDown and watch Supercard. Man.
I don't know. I got to take a poll. I don't know. What do you guys want me to do? SmackDown or Ring of Honor?
You got to do SmackDown, man. That's your show.
I know.
That's your content, man. You got to do your show.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you, AEW Mark. Joseph the Gamer with a $4.99 super chat. There is a wrestling YouTuber thinking AEW is boring because MJF is champion. I don't care. That wrestling YouTuber is a fucking dummy.
There are billions of people on this planet. Turns out there's gonna be different opinions, bro.
Not everybody's gonna like MJF.
I mean, and he could be doing his job. He could be working the fuck out. He's a heel. You're not supposed to like him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, MJF will be just fine.
Seize your property with a $50 super chat. Why they just have Cody Rhodes beat Roman for the WWE title and have Roman hold the Universal title for 1,000 days? Because that's the first championship he won, and Gunther wins King of the Ring to face Roman at SummerSlam and beat him for the title. It's that simple. Seizure your property. Thank you to the 50. Appreciate your generosity. They're not splitting the titles yet, bro. When whoever beats Roman will be the champion, then they split the championships. Roman is not losing a champ. I don't know how many times I gotta explain this. Roman is not losing a championship to hold the other championship, because when the person beats him for a championship, Roman's still gonna be a champion. It would devalue the win over Roman. If Roman's gonna lose, he's gotta lose everything.
Yeah. Also, I have a comeback to your. I've listened to a couple of your reviews when you said that Cody wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And that Roman should win.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking about it like this. Before Cody came back to WWE, and everyone had the question to ask, who can take down Roman? The answer we always gave was no one. There's no one ready to take those titles off of Roman. And now that we've got Cody here, and we see his reactions and the momentum he has, and if he's not the one to do it right now, no one will ever. It's probably a now or never situation to get those titles safely off Roman onto someone that is viable enough to beat him. You know what I'm saying?
And listen, man, I agree with you 100%. And I said this last night, or Monday rather. If Cody wins the titles, I am not going to complain. There is positive to come out of that, because we get a championship back on Monday Night Raw. They potentially split the titles, and there's 2 world championships again. And I feel like with the story of Roman and what's going on with the Usos and the Bloodline, there may be a greater story for Roman without the championships than with the championships because of the internal implosion of the bloodline potentially. Where's Solo going to go? What is Jay going to do? Is Jimmy going to, there's more, there's a huge storyline arc with the bloodline where he doesn't need the championship, so it's a possibility. I understand it, but I'm not going to complain if Cody wins at all.
Yeah. It's just that, before Cody, there was definitely no one to even consider.
No.
Now that Cody's here, at the very bare minimum, you can't argue that he is at least someone to now consider.
Yes.
At the very least, he is definitely someone to consider. But if you pass on Cody now and have him win later, it definitely won't mean the same. It won't be as impactful. And no one, absolutely no one in WWE has had this kind of momentum going into a match other than Cody. I mean, even with Sammy, we knew Sammy wasn't winning that fucking title.
No.
We knew that. This is the one opponent, the absolute one chance to take the title off of Roman, and no one would be like, this was stupid. It should have been someone else. No, this will be your guy. And if he loses it here, I don't want to see Cody win it later at SummerSlam or some shit. No, find somebody else now.
Yeah, it's a tough decision to make. I don't want to be those people. I don't know. Listen, with Vince back in somewhat of charge, I don't know how much say he's gonna have.
Fucked.
Cody may be fucked. And I'm being real and honest with you. Cody may be fucked. Can you honestly see Roman Reigns dropping the championship with Vince McMahon in charge, bro? That is his fucking creation. You think Vince is gonna give up on 1,000 days? Bully Ray to an AEW guy, yeah. To beat Roman. Bully Ray even said, we're talking about taking the belts, and I don't agree with Bully Ray at all on really anything. Sometimes I do, but he said we're contemplating taking the guy that we got in Roman Reigns now and taking the belts off of him. The guy that we're comparing in the same breath as Bruno Sammartino as far as title reigns are concerned. We're going to take the belts off him now.
Yeah,
I mean. I could see the argument from both ends, bro. I really can see the argument on both ends. There's a lot going on for Roman. There's a lot going on for Cody. Yeah. But, at the end of it, if Cody wins the championship, I'm fine with it. The only problem I had is that I feel like the story that they told with Cody and Roman doesn't really equate to him winning it in some grand fashion. I feel like there's just been so much left on the table. And I'm not talking about Cody being Stardust and Cody being fucking smoke and mirrors and Cody, being the son of a plumber. Those are basic shits that There's so much left there that they didn't tell, and I feel like it's just weak. So
the story, the overall story, Sami Zayn had the better story.
Yes.
To take down Roman and win. We knew that wasn't going to happen though, but I think under Triple H, Cody was winning. I think under Vince, with Vince is now back, it looks like Roman is gonna win. But Cody is that guy that Sammy couldn't be. Cody is the guy on Jimmy Kimmel. Cody is the guy on Good Morning America.
Yeah,
in his fucking suit and is in a well pressed and is in this well spoken. That is the WWE guy. Is Cody? That's not Sammy. So in that regard, Cody can be the next Roman to go out there and be the figurehead for the company.
Yeah, I agree.
But with Vince, no, Cody's fucked, dude.
The bastard, yeah. I mean, he's fucking.
He's fucked. This was his chance right here. Again, Vince is gonna fuck.
The Bastard 97 with a 199. Hi, I enjoy Kickstream and I enjoy WrestleStream. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Roderick Welsh with a $5 super chat. Any chance Jesse will either do Night of WrestleMania review with you this weekend? Outside of curiosity, what do you think of Cage the Elephant? I don't even know who the fuck that is, bro. Who is that? Cage the Elephant.
What?
And Jesse will not be doing a review with me. I will be solo.
Solo. But join my watch along, man.
Jesse's doing a watch along for night 1 and night 2, so join him then. Gavin Deeth with a $5 super chat. Be rock hard like Juice Robinson with Blue Chews. Bro, I don't need... I mean, listen, man. If I had someone like Tony Storm, I don't need Blue Chew, bro. I mean, come on, man. I mean, that's just a natural Blue Chew right there.
Cage the Elephant is a band.
I don't know who that is.
Tour dates, festival.
But I'll tell you what, man. I've been loving the new Wolf Van Halen single from his band Mammoth. Should go check it out. Celebration at the End of the World. Awesome tune. Gavin D, thank you so much, bro. Jedi Joke with a $5 super chat. JD, are you going over predictions on Friday, or are you... I just lost him. Where the fuck did he go? I'm sorry, bro. Predictions on Friday, or are you just reviewing SmackDown? I'll probably just review SmackDown, man. I don't know. I want to do a prediction show somewhere, but I don't know where I'm gonna fit it in. One-winged Will. Thank you for the 50 again, brother. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for the VIP membership, man. Appreciate you.
Why don't you tag a previews and predictions at the end of SmackDown review?
Maybe. Soma BT becomes a new member, and Alex from Phoenix with a new membership. Thank you, gentlemen. What the fuck are you drinking? I'll see you in my mother's basement on Friday. Hiru with a 5. Tanahashi and Garcia added to Supercard. Take my money.
Seems like a Forbidden Door match.
I know. Underwear Beast with a new membership. Thank you, brother. What are you drinking tonight? And DeBastard97 just became a new member. Thank you, man. Cisco with a $5 super chat. All I want for my birthday is Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter, and Nikita Lyons.
Oh, God.
And you got the triple threat right there, bro. Nikita Lyons is gorgeous.
I honestly don't know who I would take over Nikita Lyons or JB Hayter.
I don't know. It's a tough one.
Ooh.
Joseph Taylor, $5 super chat. Conan Disco Inferno was relevant when they were in the NWO. Who? Tone C with a $5 super chat. Unfortunately, I can't watch Dynamite, but enjoy your guys' review of the show. Do you like Seven Dust? See you in your mother's basement. Stay classy. Yes, I do like Seven Dust. Never seen them live, though.
Wasn't Seven a creepy pedophile?
No, I don't know who that is.
Seven? Dustin Reynolds.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Was that his gimmick?
I think he was a creepy pedo.
I don't know. Who knows? Outsider Kid with a $5 super chat. Love your videos, guys. Trying to cheer up. Had just lost my brother a couple months ago. Crazy thing is Jay Briscoe passed not much long after. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. I know that's probably still fresh in your mind and in your heart, man. Thoughts and prayers out to you, man. Joey Clemenza with a 15 months. No take tonight. Just wanted to say thank you for the best podcast in the IWC. Been listening for 15 months. Plan to be here for 15 more. That's what I love to hear, man. I love that energy. Raging Girl Gamer with 30 months in the venue. 30 months. I can't believe it's been that long. How you like Kick? Will you stream on it more? Also trying to stay positive. It's been hard as of late. Rage, you're doing an awesome fucking job. Happy to see you in the venue. And Kick is, it reminded me of Twitch, to be honest with you. I had a good time over there. And yes, I will be streaming on there for the next one as well.
Did you see Sky Blue's latest Instagram post?
Was it with another female?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I didn't see enough of what Sky Blue was wearing, which made me sad. Yeah. Telling you, man, it could be Sky Blue. It could be blue time. Sky time. Sky Blue time. Anytime. Telling you. Somebody said I should shoot my shot, bro. Should I? She's not dating Mr. Martin anymore.
Oh, they broke up?
Yeah. This is what I was told. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Yep. In the DMs I go.
Yeah, let me get my divorce papers ready, man. I'm ready. I'm out.
Edmund Van Buren with a 7 months in the venue. Thank you, Edmund. I joined you guys late. Did you guys suggest BCC versus Elite and Blood and Guts? Yes, we did, bro. You know that's where it's going. Anyway, man, that's it for us. Any parting words before I get the Mustang all revved up and get the hell out of here?
Join me WrestleMania weekend. I might pick one of the 2 nights, which if I do, it'll be fucking Sunday night.
Yeah.
But follow me on Twitter, and I'll keep you guys updated.
Oh, yeah, man. Did you see that Nikita Lyons and Tiffany Stratton picture on Twitter?
Yes, I did. They wasn't showing anything.
They don't need to show anything, man. We know how hot they are.
Yeah, then why do we need a picture? Show us.
Shout out to Nikita Lyons, man. We love Nikita Lyons.
Nikita.
Hopefully she gets back soon. Thank you guys very much for a great stream tonight. I will be live tomorrow with OTS. I believe it's 472, if I'm not mistaken. I could be off. Tired. But anyway, we'll be live tomorrow. No podcast on Sunday, being that it's WrestleMania weekend. So we'll be going over all the latest news on tomorrow's show. So join me at 5 p.m. Follow me on Twitter at JDfromNY206. We're about to hit 50,000 on Twitter, man. That's a celebration in itself. Thank you for the support. We just hit 143,000 on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button. Again, Twitter as well, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. Plenty of it. We had the podcast live on Sunday night talking about the Punk situation. Monday's Raw review, the go-home show for Raw, which was better than usual. But the news about Vince McMahon being at WrestleMania and being back in creative, and people are more terrified than ever before. I mean, I don't understand why this shit keeps popping up, but we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Wrong.
I'm wrong. I mean, the show does not feel the same compared to October and August and September. Anyway, the fuck do I know? Anyway, guys, I'm about to get out of here. I'll see you guys live tomorrow. Let me see those ace emojis in the chat. Let me see those Mustang emojis in the chat. Let me see those rock on emoji. Not the rock hard. I don't have a rock hard emoji. Rock on emoji in the chat. And let me hear that music on max, guys. I'll see you tomorrow live on OTS. Until then, take care. And I'll see you guys later. I didn't even roll the window down. Now I gotta roll the window down, and I gotta fucking say goodbye for a second time. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on Thursday, man. I don't know why. I'm fucking done. I'm done. Okay? Goodbye.